This is the Cumbre Vieja volcano. You may have heard of it whether you're in Europe or in the USA or just interested in Earth's structure. Its most recent eruption started on the 19th of September after 8 days of clear magma-related earthquakes, around 22,000 to be more precise. An eruption was not a matter of if, but when in the days previous to the 19th, and sure enough, upon the initial fissure opening, there were not one, but two news channels on site that recorded it brilliantly.
¡Directo, directo, directo! ¡Directo!
¿Dónde? ¡Ay Dios, chicos! ¡Derrumbe, derrumbe, derrumbe!
La Palma is one of 7 islands that constitute the Canary Island archipelago, a volcanic island system just off the coast of Africa, but part of the Spanish territory. It's home to around 85,000 people and is about half the size of London. The whole archipelago is volcanic in origin, and La Palma is the combination of 2 different volcanoes, the oldest of which, the Taburiente stratovolcano, is 3 to 4 million years old and has risen up from the ocean floor, creating this new island. A stratovolcano is the most familiar kind of volcano for the common person, shaped like a cone with a sharp top, frequently with very clear valleys and deformations created by the erosion, since a lot of it is formed by ashfall. However, as you can easily see on the map or satellite images, the volcano has had 2 collapse events where parts of the volcano fell into the ocean, and it is an occurrence familiar to most islands on the archipelago actually. This is the main reason why this volcano was already famous before this eruption, as you'll understand shortly. The reason why these islands exist is because they have at some point in history, or still are, directly above the Canary hotspot. A hotspot is a weak spot in the Earth's crust where magma can easily rise up to the surface, and creating a very likely location for a volcanic eruption. And because it is located on the top of the African tectonic plate, and this one is moving in the northeastern trend, the chain of islands follows the logical age trend. In the last 125,000 years, all of the eruptions on the island's surface have happened on the Cumbre Vieja ridge. This, unlike the Taburiente volcano, is a rift system. The most frequent term for a rift is the Mid-Atlantic one, which has been the reason why South America and Africa started splitting 140 million years ago. However, the scenario here is different, as the island is not actually splitting apart, but instead it has a north-south oriented weak spot where over the millennia many eruptions have occurred which continuously keep growing the island, something that is once again happening in this eruption. Remains of such eruptions can be seen all across the south section of the island, however they are most frequent at the top of the ridge, which is exactly the most prone area to these events. As you can see though, this ridge is not fully on the surface, as some of it prolongs into the ocean where it is likely to keep emerging throughout the future. This area, known as Cabeça de Vaca, or Cow's Head, is where the volcano has emerged from. Now, to be clear, Cumbre Vieja is the name of the whole volcanic system. This particular eruption has created a large cinder cone with several vents, which has not been named yet. A fissure eruption is characterized by a large number of individual vents that expel lava. Over the eruption, the number of active vents has variated, however at the time of recording it sits at 9. The reason why it varies is because occasionally a vent may clog up, and as the pressure from the heat and gas emissions build up, it ends up creating new sites where it can break through to the surface. The lava from the volcano has in the meantime covered around 10 square kilometers of the island, created a new delta which has reached the ocean and has effectively grown the island, but has destroyed around 2,700 homes and businesses. Sadly, as the eruption is ongoing just above a moderately populated area, which also contains a lot of agricultural land. More specifically, banana plantations. The eruption has been ongoing for 54 days at the time of recording. It is frequent for this volcano to have eruptions up to 80 days, and although it is something extremely hard to predict, it is expected that this eruption reaches that duration as well. Additionally, the volcanic explosivity index for these eruptions has been of a 2 in the scale of 8. However, this eruption is said to be classified as a 3, mostly due to the explosive nature seen for several weeks at the cinder cone. The VEI scale runs from 0 to 8 and is the most accurate representation of an eruption's explosivity, having the amount of tephra, the total amount of material ejected, be it lava, ash, etc., as the most important factor. In the classification, a VEI 1 eruption is 10 times stronger than a 0, a VEI 2 eruption is 10 times stronger than a 1, and so on. It has also by far been the most costly eruption of the 21st century, causing at least 600 million euros in damage so far. Another reason why the volcano is widely known is because of the theories that have risen over the years over a possible third collapse on the island, leading to a destructive mega tsunami that would devastate the east coast of the USA, as well as portions of the African and European coast. This was initially proposed in 1999 by Simon Day et al., and he was a big part of the work that has initially put this island as a high threat dozen to millions of people in several countries. That hypothesis has, however, further been amplified by a 2013 BBC United Kingdom program called Could We Survive a Mega Tsunami? And the truth is that this is based on a wildly unlikely idea that was only useful to gather attention and views, as it approaches the subject with an idea that disaster is imminent. Science is open to almost everything, and this scenario is indeed possible, but if I am to be honest, I think the chances of me being hit by a lightning are higher. The proper way of putting it is that although it is possible, it is extremely unlikely even in the current situation with the eruption. Many studies have been done regarding this theory in the meantime, and there are some widely accepted conclusions that include that no evidence of the island being currently unstable, that it would take an eruption much larger than those recorded on this volcano and/or earthquake to see such event happen. Adding to that, even in the older caldera collapses, there haven't been any indications that a tsunami affected areas outside of the Canary Islands, which has been in the meantime supported by studies done with more sophisticated technology in the last few years. What happened was that a speculative paper has gained the reputation of being the imminent consequence of an eruption in that area, wrongly. Besides, I believe the point is absolutely being missed here, as the real issue from a collapse event would be the island's population itself, as thousands live on the section of the mountain that has that tiny risk. Nevertheless, it is understandably a subject that attracts a lot of attention from creators, some of them very well informed who can visually help us understand the subject, others who spread lies, conspiracy theories, misinformation, and fear for the purpose of views. Nevertheless, if you want to follow everything regarding the eruption, my advice is to check out the 24/7 live streams from the Afar TV channel, and also the GeologyHub channel, which gives frequent and very well explained updates on the eruption. Additionally, this video is a little bit different in comparison to my regular content, but that's because it's a subject that I'm quite fond of. Everything related to maps essentially has a chance of capturing my attention. You can leave all kinds of feedback down below, and thank you.